Hello everyone! Welcome to today's video. We are going to talk about how you can transform a milk carton into a house. And so you'll want to save some milk cartons. And the fun thing about this is if you have a variety of cartons in different shapes and sizes, you could create a whole city full of different shapes and sizes buildings. So you'll need paper, scissors, some type of glue, and something to color with. And when you're finished, you'll have a cute little building. And so grab your materials and let's get started. So I've gathered the materials for my milk carton house. And remember, it could be any type of carton, any size. This just happens to be one of the little half-pint milk cartons. Basic materials will be scissors, pencil, colored paper. If you happen to have white school glue, that would be great. Today, I'm actually going to be using a hot glue gun. So if your parents have one, you can work with an adult on this. Or if you want to be cutting doors and windows, a knife, a kitchen knife that parents you can help with, or I happen to have an X-Acto knife, which would do the similar job. So to begin with, I'm going to glue my carton shut, and I've already washed and dried it, which is very important. You don't want your project to smell like spoiled milk. You don't want any wetness in there that could potentially mold. And so I'm just going to add a little glue, press and hold. There we go. Once the top is glued, then you can start planning out what paper you're going to put on the sides of the building. Now it could be a different color on each side, could be the same on each side, it's up to you. I found some scrapbooking paper, so I'm going to use this first. Just move these out of the way. Okay, so what I would do is I would line up the milk carton on a corner and trace. Oh, that line didn't trace very good. There we go. And then move it over. So each side of this carton is the same. If you have a carton that has different dimensions of the sides, you might need to do this step a little bit differently. So I have 4 sides. I'm going to trace this 4 times. There we go. And then when I cut it out, I'm going to cut a little bit away from that line just to give myself a little room, because when we're wrapping something around, it tends to need to be longer than we think it does. And so we don't want to run out of wallpaper for the exterior. Then I'm going to cut down this line. Okay. And what I would do is I would start to fold on those lines. Okay, and then you can kind of start to see how it fits around your box. And then this flap that we have is going to be our glue tab. So what you're going to do is you're going to put glue, and white school glue would work. Hot glue just works faster, so if you have that. Now, when you're hot gluing paper, the paper gets really hot. So this is why an adult needs to help you. Okay, so you can glue that and then pull this tight, and you're going to glue this section down. I'm going to flip it back, put a little glue around the sides. There we go. And I'm still holding it tight and push it down. Okay, so now we have our walls done. And before we go on to make our roof, we should think about doors and windows and other decorations that we want to make. So if you want a door that's closed, we can just cut a construction paper rectangle, and you can just cut it and glue it right on. So for instance, you can just cut out. And if you want to be really precise, you absolutely could use a ruler. Now, does this door look right? It's probably a little bit too big. And so check the sizes before you glue. All right, that's a little bit better. So I could just glue that on and then I can draw some details on. But we had talked about if I want to cut open the door so it opens. So I'm going to carefully glue this on. When you're gluing paper to paper with a hot glue gun, be so careful because it really does heat up. Honestly, a glue stick would be just fine. There we go. Okay, if I want this door to open, I need to cut 3 sides. So I need to cut along the top and along the edge and along the bottom. So I need to figure out which way the door should swing open. So if it's going to swing this way or this way. And then with an X-Acto knife or a kitchen knife and an adult, you can carefully have your door cut open. Okay. And then you do want to cut along the bottom too. There we go. And then after you've done those 3 sides, you carefully fold it back and make a crease. Now notice these are detached right now, so you will need to go back and glue them down. There you go. And so now you have a door that opens. You could use the same idea to do windows that open. All right, let's talk about roofs. So roof, you want to use paper for the roof. You can decide what color you want to use. And we're going to do a similar trick where we lay it down. Let's see, I'll lay it down this way. Now we want to make the roof bigger than this dimension. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to kind of lay it in a little bit, draw a line along where the peak is, and draw a line a little bit out. I'm going to turn it so I can see what I'm doing. A little bit out that way. And then I just tip milk carton in the opposite direction and continue that line. And I'm going to mark how far out I want it to be. Now just remember, like the door, if things end up being too big, just trim them down. If they end up being too small, you can cut them again and just increase the size a little bit. It doesn't need to be perfect the first time you cut it out. You just play with it until you're happy. So I'll fold this in half. And I would decorate this before I glue it on. So if you want to draw shingles or draw some details, let's see. I'll grab a Sharpie really quick. This one's kind of dying. But you could draw like rectangular offset shingles. You could draw scalloped ones. You could draw wavy zigzag ones. You could have a rainbow roof. Oh, marker. It doesn't want to show up very good. I'm sorry. Okay, but you get the idea. I would decorate and color it before I stick it on because the roof will not, if I turn on that side, it's not gonna lay on like perfect. Okay, so I'm gonna put glue along this top edge. Bum, bum, bum. And then I'm gonna glue this down like that. Okay, and then I'm gonna lift it up and glue right here along this edge. Hold that down and flip it. Oop. Some of the glue is not quite dry. Okay, gently hold. Now, if you want it glued flat, it makes a little bit different shape. I'm gonna leave mine like this, and actually, you could go back and cut a triangle and you could cover and disguise that part so you don't even need to know that it's a milk carton, which is really fun. So I'm gonna pause, I'm gonna add a few more details on my house, and then you can get started on yours. I'm gonna continue working on my house. I did add a few more details I wanted to share with you. So I have a door. You could even decorate the inside, and you could put wallpaper and furniture in. I did add those triangles just to help disguise the milk carton part of the roof. And I started working on this one side of the window, which has a little flower box. So really, the sky is the limit. You could do so much with just paper and glue and scissors to decorate each side of it. If you have multiple milk cartons, or if you want to start saving milk cartons, you could build a whole tiny village. So enjoy, be creative, and enjoy using cartons for art.